It's Sandra. Welcome to another episode of Asexualise. My Asexual Life is the place to be for education about asexuality, entertainment, lifestyle, videos, and lots of education. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, subscribe and hit the bell icon right now. So tonight we have an entertainment video in the form of a no sex movie review. So first of all, if you don't know who I am, I'm Sandra Bellamy. I'm personally a sex repulsed asexual for me personally. And I like to find movies that have no sex in them whatsoever. And in this highly sexualized world we live in, this can be really tough. But I managed to find a lot of movies that don't actually have sex in them. I have to say that there are parts of this movie that do have some sexualization of women in it, but there was no actual specific sex in this video. So I do have to put that trigger warning out if you're someone who doesn't like to see like low cut tops with boobs and stuff like that, because there is a part of that in the actual movie. So there's a sexual element to it. However, there is no actual sex in this movie, which was one of the huge benefits for me. But let me talk about this movie, Borderlands. So, if you have not already seen the movie and you're going to see it soon, please do not watch this video because I'm going to spoil the plot for you. However, if you like the plot to be spoilt for you before you watch it, or you're maybe not going to see it anyway, or maybe you like listening to reviews to find out if you want to watch the movie, then stay tuned. So, Borderlands is based on a best selling video game that I do not have. I have never ever used it. I do not know what it's about. I'm not a gamer. However, there's a lot of people in the asexual community who are gamers. So I know this movie will likely appeal to a lot of people. I have to say, despite the fact I've never played this game before, I don't, as a general rule, play video games. And I thought it looked like quite a good movie, but kind of one of those really weird, far out movies that might not make sense. I was pleasantly surprised. I really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was very, very good. And even though I've never played the video game in my life, I did understand the basics of the film plot. Now, I cannot compare this movie to the video game itself because, like I said, I have no knowledge about what the video game is actually like to play. I just know that it's a best selling video game, and I did actually recognize the name of it. So, in Borderlands, one of the things I absolutely loved is Kate Blanchett plays Lilith, who is the main character in this movie, as far as I'm concerned. And she's an older woman and she kicked absolute ass in it. And so I really loved the fact that they had an older woman who was basically, as far as I'm concerned, the heroine of the whole movie. And, you know, they put an older woman in a position of power, authority, and the best person there, in I would say, in terms of getting out of situations, of fighting, of using a gun. Second close to that would have been Roland. So Roland is a rogue mercenary soldier, and along with Krieg, who I hope I've pronounced that right, who is a psycho, on Pandora, they capture tiny Tina and break her out of jail, basically. But it's not exactly jail, it's a facility where she's being experimented on because she's not human as we know it, even though she looks like a human. She's got something in her that she's made of, right? So I think she's like I'm not sure if she's like a biological weapon or something, but basically so it so I don't know if I can quickly read about it. So uh yeah, Okay, so Lilith is basically is a bounty hunter, is that right? Is someone who goes around killing people for money. And they don't really care about the people they kill, they just want the money, and they're very good at what they do. And they come back from getting a person that they're paid to get, and they're in this pub, and then all of a sudden all hell breaks loose with someone trying to recruit Lilith for another job. Lilith is really not interested, and she says no. And Lilith goes around killing these people in this pub, and then this one guy's left with a broken nose, but on top of him appears a holographic image. And the holographic image is from the bad guy who's Tiny Tina's dad, called Atlas. And so Atlas basically pushes Lilith into kidnapping Tiny Tina to bring her back from Pandora to him. But when Lilith sees Tiny Tina looks sweet and innocent because she's got little bunny ears, and she wears kind of like really young kids dresses and looks kind of sweet and innocent with what she wears, but she's into creating bombs and killing people with the bombs. And so Lilith went back to Pandora, which she never wanted to go back to because she was born there and has bad memories, because you find out in the movie that her mum died there. And so she's really upset to go back to it, but she only does it because she wants to get the money to, basically to capture Tiny Tina, return her to her dad, Atlas, and get the money, because Atlas offers her a lot of money. However, there's also some other people that Atlas has employed to go and find Tiny Tina as well. And so Lilith ends up back on Pandora, where she's originally born, and so do these people that come after them. So it's called Crimson Lance, the private army of Atlas. So in a nutshell, Lilith is ending up being stuck on Pandora, and she realizes that Tiny Tina cannot go back to her father, because Tina tells her in a moment when they're together alone that she was genetically engineered with biological material from the Iridians, which is the ancient race that once inhabited Pandora. And Atlas believes only she can open the vault where the secrets of the lost civilization's advanced technology are kept. And so he wants to use this, obviously, to get more power and everything. So instead of Lilith trying to capture Tiny Tina, she then sets about trying to protect her. And Lilith, before she meets Tiny Tina, has a robot that's been programmed to protect her. So I love the robot Claptrap. The voice is done by Jack Black, who I think is an amazing comedic actor. And so that's how she finds Tiny Tina in the first place. So in the end, Lilith ends up teaming up with Roland Greg. I hope I've pronounced his name right, like Greg, but Grieg, I think it is Grieg. Tiny Tina, and they have also Claptrap the robot. Plus, they end up going to get the help of Lilith's estranged foster mum, Patricia Tanis. It's meant to be Dr. Patricia Tanis, but what happened is when Lilith's mother was alive, you saw a flashback of the mother handing Lilith to Tanis to keep for protection, but instead Tanis didn't do that. So Lilith's really angry because it looks like Tanis swapped her for a key or something, which is to the vault. So they were more interested in the vault and getting access to this vault because of all the treasure that lies beneath it, if you like, the technology and things like that. That Lilith ended up having to learn how to kill people and keep herself safe at the age of 10. So I do like the storyline. I like the fact that Lilith and Tiny Tina had somewhat parallel stories in the sense they were both shunned by their caregivers because all they cared about was the vault in the end. And Lilith's mother was genuine and genuinely loved Lilith. So Lilith's mum didn't put Lilith second to the vault, but her estranged foster mum did put the vault above Lilith, and so did Tiny Tina's dad, because Tiny Tina's dad believes Tiny Tina is the chosen one that can open the vault. And when she opens the vault, have all this access to this technology, and obviously he wants to rule the world and he wants to do more experiments on Tiny Tina, which is why Lilith steps in to protect her. Now there's a part where they have to get different keys. It's a bit like the movie National Treasure when they have to find different things in order to do what they need to do. But the one thing I didn't really understand at the very end of the movie is they have these keys, but as far as I know, there's meant to be 3 of them. But at the end, it looks like there's only 1, unless all 3 are put together. So if you've seen the movie or if you know this bit, then let me know what you think. But I only see 1 big thing shoved in the ground, right, to open the vault, whereas there's supposed to be 3 keys. I didn't get it. I didn't see 3 keys being put together. I only saw this 1 clump of rock that's meant to be a key that lights up, basically. So throughout the whole movie, they're searching for these keys to open the vault. This is Lilith along with Roland and Grig and Tiny Tina. They team up together. At one point, it's really funny because they go through like this valley and they have to get away from the bad guys squad that's like after them, if you like. I don't know how else you'd say them, but Crimson Lance, private army of Atlas, right after them. And they have a lot of times where they're in this like jeep thing and they're trying to get away from this army and they can't do it very easily, and they've got loads of people, well, not people, creatures after them. And so there's a big like action scene. There's a lot of action in this movie. I did like it. It's like sci-fi action drama, a bit of comedy thrown in. I didn't think it was that comedic, but it's meant to be quite funny. I think Claptrap the robot's the funniest, but I like this movie because of Kate Blanchett. To be honest, she was my favorite actress in the whole movie, and I thought her hair color really suited her. Bright red as well. I thought she looked really good for an older woman, and she was literally kicking butt. She was definitely, for me, the best character there. And I love the fact that finally they have made an older woman the center of kicking butt and being the best gunslinger and person who shoots everyone, you know, that there is in this movie. And she was in total like control pretty much the whole movie. She didn't seem to get over empathetic or crying or anything like that, but you can tell that she's still emotional because you see scenes where the robot actually displays a holographic image, like a video holograph of her mother with her from years ago. And I love that Claptrap, you know, robot. I thought it added humour to the movie, but I love robots in general. And there's this one scene where Roland, Tiny Tina, Greg, um, her foster mum, if you like, and Lilith herself all have to go underground, and they're met with all these psychos. So you've got a couple of really good action scenes in this. One is that goes on for quite a long while they're in the Jeep, you know, and they're like going through a lot of what looks like desert in parts, out in the sticks, out in the nowhere, but there's all these creatures around, you know, and they're literally the army's trying to come after them. And there's, you know, really good action scenes in this movie, and this was one that really stood out for me because they have to, in order to get away from the army, it's really funny. Kevin Hart, who plays Roland, plays it really well, by the way. He actually takes, like, I think you just call it a Jeep. He takes the Jeep through this really huge creature, and he basically shoots like 2 bombs into its mouth, and he takes the Jeep through after the bombs. The bombs explode in like the alien's stomach, and then they come out creating a hole, and then they come out with a Jeep the other side. But there's this like valley place where they end up with being sprayed with urine in the car because Tiny Tina won't shut the window, and they all tell her to shut the window, and basically there's like urine and feces that go into the car. It's disgusting. This is before they find Lilith's foster mum, who they need to find to get her help. So this was a really funny scene. There's like all these creatures with like gas and methane stuff and rubbish. From what I saw, I expect it was really stinky if you're actually in that car, and smelled disgusting. So it's a really, really good long scene. I really loved that scene. And the other scene that went on a very long time, which was very action packed, was the one where they are underground and they're having to go through this like underground set of tunnels in order to find another key. The second key, I think it is, or is it the third? I think actually, I'm not sure. It might be the third. Yeah, I think it's the third. The last one, I think. Oh, I got a bit confused. No, I think there's one more actually. This is the second key. So anyway, like I said, I didn't really understand the movie in the end because it looked like they just used one key to unlock the vault, which they do eventually unlock. So anyway, this particular part where they go underground, they're met by all these psychos, and there's like huge fight scenes and gun scenes and everything. And if you love action movies, you'll absolutely love this scene. It went on for a very, very long time, and there was a lot of good camera angles in it. There was a lot of good shooting and fighting, if you like that type of thing. And it was really, really good. And Lilith really showed her amazing gunslinging, if you like. I really liked Lilith's character. Like I said, I liked the fact that she was an older woman, but yet she still had a lot of vitality and was stronger than all the others. And so I really appreciated having a kick-ass person. I thought she played the part really well. I thought they all gelled really well together, because I've seen some people criticize the trailer and things like that, and I thought the movie was really good. I really enjoyed it. I really liked all the action. I liked the characters. I thought that it did make sense in the movie. It was good to see the ending, that Lilith was actually gonna spoil it for you now, the special one, not Tiny Tina. I really loved that about the ending of the movie. And so I felt she deserved that, you know? And Lilith was emotional in bits of the movie, but it wasn't like over emotional, in the sense that you still believe she's kick-ass and she's strong and that she can never be defeated. That's the way it was portrayed. And so in the end, Lilith is the one that's actually the chosen one, the special one, if you like. She's the one who has special powers. And it seems that Tiny Tina and her both have extraordinary powers, but she has the most. And I just really like the movie. Like I said, I've never played the video game before, but I can imagine the video game is a first-person shoot game from my research of what I've done. And I expect if you've played the video game and you go and see the movie, it's like, wow, this is all coming to life with all these characters and how the story interacts and how it ends and everything. But I'm guessing people probably still prefer the video game if they're comparing it, because people usually like the original thing. But I don't know. I really love the movie. I'm not into video games, but I'm into movies. And I was really in awe of the suspense, Like I said, there is like a scene which is quite sexual in nature, because this woman is very sexual. She's a bit like a prostitute, and she's in a situation where she can help Lilith, and she tells Lilith her mum thought she was really special, and she helps Lilith escape with Roland, Greg, Tiny Tina, and Lilith's stepmom or adopted mum, whatever you really want to call it. It's adopted mum, really. It's not. But I don't even think it's totally adopted. It's a foster mum, they call it on Wikipedia. But it's basically someone who was given Lilith to look after when her mum died. Lilith's mum died. So you find out that Lilith's mum died, but Lilith is the special one to open the vault. So I guess you could say it's quite a basic storyline, but I still thought it was good. You get quite tensed up by, is something going to happen to the main characters? I love the fact they had different like weird things in it, like psychos, and I don't like psychos in real life, but you can imagine that psychopaths really would behave like that and look like that, if you know what I mean, as they got in the movie, and the alien things, and I just liked it. It's one of those movies that is quite compelling to watch. Maybe you don't know fully why, but I think it's the way the characters gel together, the way there's always a chase, someone's always coming after them, so they always have to keep escaping throughout the whole movie. And I do really like that. I love those movies where, just when you think you can relax, it's like, oh, you can't relax. You've got to then, move on again because you're going to be found. And yeah, I really enjoyed the movie. I would highly recommend going to see it if you haven't before. The ending's good. I liked the ending. I loved Kate Blanchett. I really did. I thought she was absolutely incredible. Jamie Lee Curtis is the person who plays her foster mum. And I thought it was a really good cast. I thought the person who played Tiny Tina was great. Kevin Hart, who played Roland, was great. I don't know the person who played Greg. But it was all really, really good. I thought that, yeah, it was just an amazing film. I mean, Tiny Tina at one point found out that Lilith was after her for money, but that was what Lilith originally came to her old planet for, was to get Tiny Tina and be paid for it. But when she realised what Atlas is like, that's Tiny Tina's dad, and that Tiny Tina basically is not normal, and they've been biologically experimenting on her because of her biological makeup, then, because she was created and they want to experiment on her, it's she no longer wants to harm Tiny Tina, but Tiny Tina doesn't realize this because Tiny Tina just sees the hologram of Atlas appear in like this cave area. I don't know if you can call it a cave area, but basically what happens is Lilith decides that she doesn't care about the money anymore, that she wants to protect Tiny Tina from Atlas, because she knows that she's a special creation, and she doesn't want Atlas experimenting on her anymore. So she cares about Tiny Tina, right? But the robot fixes this device that Atlas said to press when she finds Tiny Tina, so that he can come and get her, Tiny Tina, this is, and pay her money. And so when the robot fixes Lilith, this device for Lilith smashes it against the rocks because she doesn't want any part of getting money for Tiny Tina. And then Atlas appears, and he's been using it as a tracking device, basically. So even though she smashed it up, he could still see the signal. And he comes and starts saying stuff to Lilith, and Tiny Tina overhears just part of the conversation about the money, which she didn't know. And so Tiny Tina tries to blow up Lilith, but it doesn't work. And that's when you really understand that Lilith must have like superpowers to not be able to be killed from like dynamite bombs, basically. So then you understand that Lilith must have special powers too. That's when you really know. So anyway, Lilith then has to try and get Tiny Tina back, which she does at the very end of the movie. And Lilith turns into this great big like fire eagle in the end. It's amazing. I really loved the storyline. I really enjoyed the characters. I liked the movie. I thought it was a lot of fun. I know, like, it sounds a bit weird saying fighting that's fun, but because it's not too gritty for me, then I could handle it. I knew it wasn't real, if you know what I mean. It was more like a video game type thing. So I really enjoyed it anyway. I'd love to know what you think. If you have already seen the movie, then please let me know what you think in the comments below. If you haven't seen it yet, then please let me know if you're going to see it. Let me know what you think if you've already seen it and you understood it, and you maybe have played the video game before. If you've played the video game and you've seen the movie, what did you think by comparison? I'd love to know the answer to that. And yeah, I'll see you on the next video live stream. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon, and don't forget to grab your copies of Asexual Perspectives, Fibromyalgia Self-Help Handbook, and Diary Confessions of a Hyperromantic Asexual 78 Life Lessons to Ace Your Life. All these books are available on Amazon. So if you like superhero books, then get a copy of my Fibromyalgia Self-Help Handbook autobiographical book. Anyway, definitely let me know what you think of the movie. Film and movie comparison. I meant film and game comparison. And yeah, let me know. Anyway, subscribe and hit the bell icon. See you soon next video live stream. Lots of love. Bye.